Welcome to the Sherry Andrea Psychic Empath Show with your host, Sherry Andrea. Sherry Andrea brings her listeners interesting discussions and topics related to empathy, psychic and spiritual development, as well as energy work. She is herself a psychic empath, healer, coach, author, and founder of SherryAndrea.com. Welcome, and here is your host, Sherry Andrea.
Hi, thank you for joining me. Today I wanted to talk about energy work. Not specific energy work, although I attune many still to Reiki, also ethereal crystal, and these are really good energy healing systems. They are excellent to use, especially when you're first starting out and learning energy work and you're first starting out with helping other people. Energy healing systems, usually when it comes to using them, you pretty much can't go wrong. You can't really cause any harm or end up doing anything accidentally negative using an energy healing system such as Reiki or ethereal crystal. So it is great to start with. It's great to learn and get up to speed with the basics before you move on. And so you may be thinking, well, what am I moving on to? I'm talking about moving on to what we really all should be doing, which is energy work where you're not using a specific energy healing system, where you are literally just using universal energy and the skill that you've developed with flowing energy and the knowledge that you've acquired with not just how energy works, but with the knowledge you've acquired such as different colors of energy, knowing when to use blue, green, pink, and what those different colors signify. I'll give you a few and what they signify and what I typically use them for to give you an idea. I had a friend that when I was first starting out, I sent her healing energy, and I meant it to be calming and relaxing, peaceful, and more like an energy that you would send if somebody wanted to, like, go to sleep and rest. Well, I used blue. Well, that is how I found out that blue will have somebody up like they've just drank 5 Red Bulls. She thanked me for the energy. She said she was able to clean her whole house, but then she was more exhausted than ever before. But it really gave her a boost like she was on sugar. Okay, so I learned the hard way what blue is for. No harm, no foul. So after she told me that the effect that blue had, of course I didn't give up at that point. I said, okay, let me try a different color. And so at that point, I tried yellow, and she did get back to me, and she said, yes, yellow did the trick. She felt calm. She felt relaxed. She felt like she could easily fall asleep. So it's that simple, actually. It may seem like it's more complicated than that, but it's not. Blue you would send to someone if they're feeling fatigued, low of energy. You wouldn't want to send it to them if they need rest, if there is possibly they're going through a clearing, and the reason why they're feeling tired and fatigued is because of the clearing that they're going through. So in a case like that, you probably wouldn't want to send blue, and if you're unsure of what color to send, well, then that's when you always revert back to white or possibly just sending gold. You'll notice that many of these colors you can associate also with the chakras. For example, pink is when you want to send someone love. This is a very powerful, strong energy that you're sending. Now, generally, you wouldn't send this for healing, like if somebody said they fell and they hurt their leg, you wouldn't really send pink energy. You would send pink energy if someone was going through something maybe emotional. Maybe they were going through grief. Maybe they just broke up with their significant other and they're having a hard time dealing with it. And you literally, if you were in their presence, you would be supportive and loving to them. Well, so pink is more of a supportive and loving energy. Yes, of course, all the colors and all energy you send is healing. So I'm not saying that pink doesn't heal. What I'm saying is pink is healing in a different way. The different colors are healing in a different way. So say that you do have someone that you really do want to send healing energy to because they're in pain, they've sprained their ankle, they have a migraine, something that's, causing them to need actual healing. Maybe they have a toothache. Well, emerald is the healing color. Well, emerald is also the chakra color for the brow chakra. And I know I may say some chakra colors that don't match up with what you use or what you've been taught. Don't worry about it. In the end, you use the color for the chakra that you feel guided to move. So if I say a color other than what you know to be true, don't worry about it. I have my own little thing going on. So if you would like, if you haven't been trying emerald when you work your brow chakra, it's not going to hurt to try a different color. Try a different color and see how your chakra responds to it. You're not going to hurt anything. You may just find something really beneficial to you. So if you were trying to literally send someone healing energy, like I said, the color you would be using is emerald green. I really don't have an occasion where I use red. So some people may use red because that may be the color they associate with love. That is more a color that's associated with passion, or also it's a color that is associated with anger. So like I said, I don't really get into using red that much. Like I said, experiment, but with that color, you might want to experiment on your own self before you experiment on someone else. Then also, violet is a color that I use so often that I'm not surprised if I don't look violet. Violet, especially the violet flame, the color violet in general is transmuting. It clears, it transmutes. You could say that it's balancing, but violet is something that you want to use if you think the person needs clearing. So even if the person is sick, if you think the person is getting ill because they're picking up something that needs to be cleared from them, excuse me, then you might want to try using a combination. What I mean by that is you don't have to just pick one color. If you're trying to send energy to someone, you don't have to be resigned to just stick to using one color. You can say first, send violet to clear them, followed by sending them emerald green to be more healing. So you have to get a little creative. What colors are you going to use? What are you going to do first? Are you going to clear them first? Now, often, for those of you who have been attuned by me to either Reiki or ethereal crystal, I can tell you right now, I'd be more than happy to tell you how I attuned you. The first thing that I always do when I attune someone is I surround them with the violet flame. My goal is to clear them first. So that's why often I will let you know that from the attunement you may experience getting warm to hot. because the violet flame, since it's very transmuting and clearing, one of the things that you experience when you experience some sort of a clearing is often you feel like your internal temperature raises, almost like you're having a hot flash. So that's the first thing I do, is I clear the person with the violet flame. Now, from there, if I'm guided, and many times, I'd say probably more than half the time, I'm guided to also balance their chakras. So what I will do is I will visualize that I am either just spinning, with my hand spinning their chakras in the right direction, and I usually go from their foot chakra, which is a golden color bronze, all the way up until I get to their crown. And I just imagine that my hand is spinning their chakra so that it is spinning fast, clockwise. Then from there, with still visualizing that they're still surrounded by the violet flame, from there, I draw down energy through my crown into my heart, and I see it coming out of my heart. I see it like my chest area, big bright ball of white light. But from there, when the energy extends out from there, that's where the color changes. Now, for attuning somebody, I don't change the color. When I attune someone, I let the energy stay bright white. I don't usually even do gold, although I can imagine that doing gold would probably work very well as also. You can experiment. I mean, you can't go wrong. Changing the color when you're doing an attunement, it will not cause the attunement not to happen. The attunement will still happen. It's just that you have to understand that you're not just becoming attuned to a certain energy healing system. At the same time, the attunement in itself is clearing you, it's raising your vibrations, it's doing many things. And so that is generally why I leave it bright white. So from there, as it exits me from my chest area, I then visualize it going into the person's crown and down in, and I literally visualize them as like a vessel that I'm filling up. And then I visualize that once it comes to the top, it overflows and like overflows them and like surrounds them in it. So that is basically how I do my attunements. Now, as far as Reiki is concerned, I know that in the Reiki manual that I send you, that it doesn't quite explain it like that, and it also won't explain it the way that I do it, because I actually do not follow the procedures in the Reiki manual. The reason why is because you actually don't have to. There is another way you can do an attunement that I feel is way more powerful and way more effective, and that is by allowing your higher self to do the attunement. Literally ground, protect, then ask your higher self to attune the person, and it's good if you tell your higher self the exact name of the person. But if you're putting focus on that person at the time, if you're connecting to them in some way, by either putting focus on them, thinking about them, you're seeing their name in your email on your computer screen, believe me, your higher self isn't going to get it wrong. We, as humans, could get it wrong. Your higher self is not going to get it wrong. You can be absolutely guaranteed the attunement is going to reach the right person that it's supposed to. I have been asked many times by people who weren't as sensitive to energy and didn't feel the attunement if I'm sure that I attuned the right person. Am I sure I was connected to the right person? Yes, because there's no way for me not to be. That's a matter of knowledge. That's a matter of knowing the truth about that. Many people don't realize that. There is really, unless you are keeping control of doing the connecting, and you are somehow, you yourself are connecting to the wrong person, There is really, it is actually difficult to connect to the wrong person. So usually when I get that question, like, are you sure? Without a doubt in my mind. And so I tell you that so that if anybody ever asks you, well, are you sure? You can explain to them, yes, that you are sure, and why. Because using your higher self and asking your higher self, please attune this person to Reiki 1, 2, 3, and then Master, you can't go wrong. Now you notice that I said Reiki 1, 2, 3, and Master. Well, I actually say Reiki 1, 2, and Master. Notice that I didn't say that I say Reiki 1 on one day, I do Reiki 2 on another day. Notice I didn't say that I space it out. Notice that I didn't ask my higher self to space it out. The energy is going, universal energy is intelligent. Energy is intelligent. It knows what to do and how to do it. The energy will actually flow out to the person. The first attunement to Reiki 1 will happen. Reiki 2 attunement won't start until 1 is complete. The energy is intelligent. It knows what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. You need to step out of the way. This is the biggest thing with doing energy work in general, is knowing how to do it in a way where you're doing it, but you're stepping out of the way of it and letting it do what it intelligently knows how to do. So then, after that, I usually spend a few moments visualizing, holding the visualization, holding the visual of the person surrounded with the violet flame, excuse me, and the energy flowing into them. This makes it in itself more powerful. So the longer you hold the visualization, so I'm basically saying the longer you flow that energy into them, the stronger the attunement will be. Now, even if you just simply say to your higher self, attune so-and-so to Reiki or ethereal crystal, and you don't spend a lot of time on the visual, it will still happen. It will still be as effective as if you had spent more time. So it is really up to you those times when you have more time to give, because all the difference that it will make is you will actually be spending more time working on clearing the person. And so you have to realize that the more time you spend, that's the more time you're doing a little extra work other than just the attunement. So if you have that time to give, then it's nice if you do and you can give it. If you don't, just be assured your attunement is going to be effective and everything is fine. Now, you can attune more than one person at a time, of course. You know, you can tell your higher self even to attune someone tomorrow morning. And I've had occasions when I've had to do that, when I knew the next morning I was going to be busy and I wanted to make sure that I didn't forget. So I went ahead and I told my higher self, attune so-and-so tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. This way, at least I know without a doubt the attunement's going to take place, even if I forget. Sometimes I will also ask my higher self to continue running energy through me to them for a period of time, because maybe the person has expressed to me that maybe they have this problem or they have that problem or they have bad allergies or something. So maybe I'll actually ask my higher self, even, you know, besides asking that they be attuned, I'll say continue flowing, you know, after I've already visualized it and done it, I might say continue flowing the energy to them for however long is needed. And you don't have to worry. I mean, however long is needed, it's not going to be the rest of your life. We're talking maybe the rest of the day, maybe just a few hours. Like I said, energy is smart. It knows when it is complete and it's done its thing and it's no longer needed, and so the flow will stop. You have to, with energy work, you have to get creative. You really have to be a creative person. The sky is basically the limit. You're limited only by what you can imagine, by what you can think up. Whatever you can think up that is what you can do as far as energy work is concerned. Somebody going through a custody battle, a divorce and a custody battle, you can flow healing energy to the situation. Maybe you would choose to use pink so that it will be a good outcome for all concerned. You not only can deal with people, animals, but also situations. And most people, most often, the situations they think of is if there's a war going on somewhere or there's been an earthquake somewhere. Those are common things that most of the time people think of where they're going to flow healing energy. And, of course, that is great. You can also flow healing energy to any type of situation, that you can think of. Friends going through a divorce, or just a friend and their significant other is going through a hard time. Maybe they've been doing a lot of arguing. You can send healing energy to that situation. For example, a common thing that I'm asked to do is to help people when it comes to their endeavors with looking for a job. So you can flow healing energy towards, it's not so much just a situation in that case. Literally, you're flowing energy to be used in a manifestation. Now we're talking the law of attraction. Now get really smart and start thinking of what you can do. Take the energy healing system that you've learned to use and combine that with the law of attraction, and now you've got something really powerful. Because, see, with the law of attraction, you need to be able to send out high vibration energy to affect that change. Well, so if you combine the intent with with doing your energy work with whatever system you're using, or maybe you're not even using a system, maybe you're just flowing it through you, not using a specific system, which is fine, which is what you should be, what your end goal should always be. Your end goal should be just to use these energy healing systems as like a stepping stone, as like when you're a beginner. Eventually you're going to have to move on. Eventually you're going to have to see that to stay just working in an energy healing system is going to eventually be, in a way, limiting to you. Really, the sky's the limit, and you have to see yourself and what you can do to help yourself, help others, to be unlimited, really, if you just allow yourself to, at times, get out of the energy healing system. Let yourself be guided as to when to use the energy healing system and when to just float energy through you. That's how it started for me. I noticed that gradually I was being guided at certain times to not use Reiki or to not use ethereal crystal. There were times when I was guided to do different things when it came to healing, and I was never guided wrong. And I would find that when the person would get back to me, they would tell me how effective the healing was, and I really do believe that it was because I let myself be guided to what was best, what was most needed in that situation. So start combining your energy healing work with something else like, the law of attraction. Most people are trying to manifest things in their life, and they know that they need to be flowing good, positive, high-vibrating energy. Well, why aren't you using the energy healing system? Why aren't you using that ability that you've learned, coupling that with the law of attraction to basically send out that energy that the universe is then going to be looking to return to you? So I just gave you a little hint right there. You could call that a little energy healing / alchemy / Reiki, ways to kind of think outside the box to, the possibilities of what you can do, whether you're doing it for yourself or you're doing it for someone else. If someone is up for a promotion, combine the law of attraction. They're probably, if they're already doing their intent and they're already focusing on their potential promotion, well, you can help them out by sending out that energy on their behalf that can be used by the universe to send them what it is they need. Now, of course, it's all about the intent. So, of course, when you send that energy out, you in your own mind have to have the intent of who that energy is going for. Or, like I always say, let your higher self help you. A lot of these things that we do, we could be asking our higher self to help us, and we forget. We forget to simply ask. It's that simple. So tell your higher self, okay, now I'm going to sit down and I'm getting ready to send energy out for this person on their behalf to be used for what they're working on manifesting in their life. And tell your higher self that. Actually voice that to your higher self and then go ahead and send that, that energy out. It actually, I can tell you from personal experience and from years of experience doing it that it actually works. Like I said, you have to get creative. The sky is the limit. I do not believe that doing energy work or using an energy healing system really will take you as far as you can go without putting a little bit of creativity in there, without really thinking and stretching the limits of what you can think of to do and how you think of to use it. The sky is really the limit. You can use it on your plants. I've used Reiki on my grass when, I put seeds down or I was having trouble in a certain part of my yard to send energy to it to help it grow. But I'm giving you some information that maybe will help you when it comes to doing energy work, get a little bit more not only effective, but maybe start expanding and adding to what you're already doing and making it that much more effective for yourself and also for other people. Of course, if there's any questions that you have or anything specifically related to anything you're working on, feel free to contact me either through my website, SherryAndrea.com, or via email at Sherry, SHERRY, at SherryAndrea.com. Thanks.